So anybody out there? Took a little nap here at the rest stop. About 50 miles west of Tallahassee. A lot of action north of Florida, Georgia, or Florida, Alabama line here. We've had a couple, looks like confirmed tornadoes. Things are really starting to get a little spicy there. Just north of the state line there in Alabama, we're starting to see quite a few tornado warnings. Reports around Troy. I was watching that one just a minute ago. Pretty solid signature. Unfortunately, heard of some damages already, but Florida's looking pretty good so far. We got some storms brewing out there in the Gulf. I think that was kind of what these models were picking up on. So we're starting to see a few little clusters out there in the Gulf. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Tornado watch here is up until 4 a.m. Central, but you can see coming in off the Gulf, it's not really able to do much yet, which is good news. Nobody's rooting for anything too strong, but there are some storms even coming south, back south of Pensacola again, so you might get another round. It looks like there. So nothing really new on my end except I got a 1 hour nap. It was awesome. And I grabbed some Cheetos from home, and they were pretty tasty. But I'm kind of north of Panama City Beach here, and there's some storms out there in the it's trying to get going. So really don't know where I want to go yet. I was kind of wait uh, another hour or so here as this thing inches in closer to me. The zoomed in video here, you kind of see it. It's really getting heavy there into Georgia. Some of these tornadoes are going to start reaching in there, unfortunately, for western Georgia. We've got a couple pretty strong cells right here, actually. These little guys looking pretty healthy. Uh, Definitely got some hail with these. Again, that's just north of Florida, so nothing happening on my end. I might drive a little bit with y'all just to kill some time here. So we'll see. I want to lower my screen. We'll drive a little bit. I need to top off the tank anyway, so let's see what we can see here. Whoops. Wow. But anyway, there's definitely some confirmed tornadoes tonight, unfortunately, and I think the death count's already getting close to 20 now. I think I heard a minute ago. So there's been areas hit. That was combined between last night and tonight. So if I want to go south towards the water, then I'm only about 50 miles from Panama City, but I might need to go a little bit farther. Maybe go farther west, maybe towards Destin a little bit. So it's this watch that we're in right now currently is up for another 4 hours, but not seeing a lot of energy coming in off the Gulf. It's tricky, uh, even though we're included in this watch. Definitely seeing it build once it gets back up over land. Now, like I said, Alabama's really getting quite a few pretty strong clusters right now. Very clear signature in storms. The only one I was really watching was this one in Troy. Alabama, just north of me here, and it had a really solid look to it. And unfortunately, I did read a little bit ago on X that there might have been a couple reports of some pretty big damages around there. That's been happening lots of areas around this outbreak the last couple days. But if you didn't miss or didn't catch my last live, and or who am I? I'm this is my home state of Florida. You know, obviously, most chasers are in Mississippi, Alabama. Emily had a couple softball games today in Winter Haven, so I didn't want to miss that whatsoever. So I figured it'd be kind of fitting to stick in my hometown and home state here and see if anything were to happen. I'd be here to report it. And so far, so good, at least in Florida. I know there's a lot of hours left here tonight as this line brews. The low-level jets definitely whipping up above me here, and you can kind of feel the pressures dropping as this line approaches. I think I'll head a little bit farther west. But if you're south of Atlanta, Georgia, you're starting to feel it, and some of these big supercells are knocking on the state line there. Definitely seen hail, some of these severe thunderstorms, very tall cloud tops. There's been several tornadoes appears to have touched down the last several hours. Yet all of you, we don't have a solid line yet. There's really no solid squall line. Try and set up. What what you watch are these little isolated supercells out in front, but we had a little convection out ahead of the main line. It might have stabilized things a little bit on the peninsula side. Now we're getting a new crop of storms out there in the Gulf trying to get going, especially south of Destin. So starting to see a little bit more thunderstorm activity out there, even some more coming in on Pensacola there. So, you know, Pensacola, you had a pretty heavy line go through earlier, but we still have a lot more out there trailing trailing down in from the Gulf. And those are the ones we're going to watch. So little isolated little supercells. Some of those are starting to get a little rotation actually, even South Pensacola. So uh, just stay alert. You know, they don't issue a tornado watch for nothing. The conditions and the environment are definitely favorable for these spin up storms. So it's, if you don't get it, that would be it was a bust, but somebody else did. And that's the hard thing about tornadoes. I know a lot of us are used to hurricanes, and hurricanes are definitely given. You know, there's going to be a lot of impacts. You know, on the radar, there's going to be several people that feel it. You know, tornadoes pop down and they pop up and they dissipate, and you just don't know. I was up here doing that Panama City one I guess, a couple years ago now, when that house got tilted sideways one off the beach. We were watching that cell out in the Atlantic. As a matter of fact, my buddy Mark Sheldon, mayor of Panama City Beach, I text him at like 4:30 in the morning. I was so convinced that we had a supercell out there brewing. I woke him up. I texted him. I said, Mark, I said, I think there's a tornado headed right towards y'all. And about an hour and a half later, they got hit. And I think that was an EF3. That was did a lot of damage to the city. I don't remember what, a couple years ago now, I think. But that's what we're watching these things coming in off of the Gulf here tonight. So there's, stay glued to your radar. Let's all eat some Cheetos together, I guess. God, man, probably shouldn't have brought these stupid things. We had no Doritos. What Cheetos is this? I was talking to Julie. She goes, "What are you eating?" Crunch, crunch, crunch. But there's a pretty solid little line, Gulf Shores, Pensacola area down there diagonally coming in off the water, getting getting a little beef to it. The one south of Destin, Panama right now don't look too healthy. I'm using the Eglin Air Force Base radar, but there's a few popping in off of Destin that look a little more beefy. So that's a weather word or not. It's always tricky watching these storms off of the water compared to when they get over land and get a little more organization. Um, you don't you don't get a lot of intense storms off of the water. You get water spouts turn into storms, but just like we saw last Monday, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, remember in Longwood area in Florida, we had an EF2 came in over me actually over Tampa Bay, and it was not your classic squall line that you typically see it off the Gulf or Peninsula there, and I want to go Panama and then kind of head that way. Interstate's kind of boring. But that morning, I remember looking at the radar and wasn't that classic squall line. You know, we had a lot of isolated little clusters of storms that Monday morning, and one of them actually ended up intensifying into a tornado there in Longwood, and it's quite the story there to get an EF2 on level one risk. Man, just north of the state line, there is all kinds of supercells trying to get going. And there's one Union Springs, just south of Montgomery, Alabama. Getting some clear signature there. It looks like it's going to be tornado warrant here in a second. Oh, let's see, temperature 73 out. Hadn't cooled down yet. It's definitely warm. So plenty of heat in the atmosphere. Guess we'll head down 120 here and head south. This will be a good test for my broadband. Panama City. I wonder how many country songs there are with Panama City. There are a ton of country songs with Panama City Beach. That's like country song official city of country. Oh man, I remember taking this road. I think during one of the hurricanes we came here, and I think I had to turn around because it was underwater. What hurricane was that? That was well, I don't know. I think we took that exit. It was all underwater. Damn, what the hell hurricane was that? I don't know. Oh, you know what? I don't think I'm having flashbacks. It was Interstate 10, but it was Laplace, and it was during Francine last year. That was the one I think we had all that flooding in Laplace or Jennings. Hell, I don't remember now. Jennings, I think it was in Louisiana. And I remember going a little more west of there. And there was so much water. That's where all that flooding happened. And I think it was Jennings. They all blur together. Well, check out radar here, and still got a lot of stuff coming in off the Gulf. So we're gonna have some of these little random lines rolling, catching up to that main line. Nothing showing too severe. Niceville, Katie, are you listening? Not quite. I'm not. I don't have any chats on. Birmingham had like 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts reported. They had a possible tornado over Birmingham. National Weather Service office had to take shelter. Outside came working. People did using it. But since this is my Florida chase, there's really nothing happening yet, even though we're in a tornado watch. Haven't seen one yet. No warnings yet. No severe thunderstorm. Well, I think we might have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, but nothing too severe. In Florida, definitely elsewhere. Currently, we got storms north of us. So I guess we're just south of Dothan right now. It's windy out. We got a strong south wind here, blowing the truck around a little bit. Not too bad. Oh, a little rain coming. These feel like tropical rain. They'll spit for a second, then they'll be gone. Like literally, hardly even showing on radar. Now, there's been outbreaks like this before that these little cells actually try to get spinning, but none of them were having any chance. Temperature increased 76, 25. Interesting. A buddy of mine emailed me from New Orleans, and the pressure in New Orleans got down to 997 as this thing passed. Beefy little swarms to the west here around Santa Rosa Beach and Crestview area. A couple coming in off the water, but man, there's nothing showing anything yet. So good news. Just makes you wonder. Will any of those actually spin up or wait until they cross into Alabama? So I asked him if she wanted to go storm chasing. Well, technically, to be in a storm chaser, you have to be in a storm. And right now, we're not in a storm. But she's like, "Yeah, I'll go with you." I said, "I'll probably end up around Panama City Beach." And she said, "All right." She goes, "I'll She goes, "We can rent a house on the beach and come back Monday." And I'm like, "You don't understand. This is not a family vacation." I'm like, "We're gonna sleep in a rest area for like an hour," which we just did. I did. I'm like, she's like, "No, I don't want to do that." I'm like, okay. But the good thing about being here is I'm only like 5 hours from home. So I told little Sarah we can go to Chili's tonight. That was what she wanted. I'm like, Dad gets back home on Sunday. Where do you want to go? She goes, Chili's. I'm like, okay. So that's what we're doing. I might be holding up my eyelids with toothpicks, but I'll make sure I'm home in time to go to Chili's for Sarah. And it's her spring break, so she's happy about that. She gets to sleep at, and she likes it when I go storm chasing too because she gets to sleep in bed with mom. That makes her happy. She can sleep with the dogs. All four of them. Two dogs, Julie and Sarah, crawling into our bed. Poor Emily's left out. All right, so a lot of tornadoes are happening. Not right now. Maybe north. Nothing on the Florida side. One interesting little cell down there south of Destin. We'll see, that thing might have a little spin to it. on the east side of Destin, coming in off the water. Its radar doesn't really pick it up too far out. So we'll be on the water here soon enough, about 35 minutes. Got my glare problem fixed a little bit. I put a hook on the laptop so I can close the monitor just a little bit, and works. If I open the monitor, look, see the glare? If I can close the monitor about right there, there's no glare. And I got a bungee and a hook. I was so excited. I ordered it on Amazon, a little 2-inch bungee. But the little hooks I got didn't work, so of course I had to use my MacGyver skills and drill them out. So the bungee hook would reach up into them, and I made extra in case they ever get torn off. I had a Lexan little mount that I built that I thought was going to be ingenious, like a little 90-degree Lexan mount that I mounted on front of the laptop, and the idea was it would hold it up, but it was only about half an inch. Well, I didn't want to very good. And then when it pushed on it, it actually popped it off every time on the base, even though I used like 500 pounds double-sided 3M tape. None of that stuff ever works like it's supposed to. So now I got the ultimate solution, bungee. Well, let's see here. Crestview, said Pensacola is still getting some storms out there. I mean, I don't know if any of these are going to be too severe or not, but they're definitely tailing in on the backside of this line. Well, if I go to the beach, at least I can have some civilization. That interstate's terrible. I tell you, how many hurricanes I've been on Interstate 10, going, coming, in them. We're not even getting rain warnings out of storms, so they're not really doing much out there. They just can't get any convection going. But hey, it's a perfect day. I got to watch Emily play 2 games of softball. Went to see Dad this morning, brought him a dozen donuts. Hung out with him for a good hour. Went to see Emily play 2 hours. Did a lot of weather this morning. Here I am driving in my truck, which I absolutely love, testing some stuff out. Be home tomorrow in time for a nap, and then go to Chili's, have a few drinks. Man, it's like the perfect weekend for me. Trust me. You're going to do everything. My biggest dilemma was if I was going to skip Emily's games, So then I was actually going to go to drive even farther, and I'm like, man. Then I was looking at flights, and I'm like, this is so stupid. I'm like, I'm gonna go and do what I'm doing here, driving around, probably a bus more times than not. You know, you don't see anything. And then I would have missed Emily's games, and I would have been so mad at myself because they weren't streaming them. But she had a really, really, really good game. She pitched 6.2 innings and gave up only one walk. She's been having a hard time with walks, and she only gave up one walk and one run. It's a 2-1 game when they pulled her. It was probably time. She walked the one in the sixth and had a run, then followed up with a hit, and I think the coach probably thought maybe she was done. And it was 6 innings, so I agree. It's a good decision. 6 innings, you've already seen the girls maybe 3 or 4 times, 3 or 4 times, you know. Um, but we lost in extra innings, so, but I don't care. I was proud of her. Little victories. Met a few MWP followers there. Hung out with a couple of them. Pretty cool. Always meet people out and about. I don't know how they recognize me, but they always do. Oh, let's see that flag. Yeah, we got a strong southerly wind right now blowing. Obviously, racing up to this front. Temperature's up to 76. Man, it's inching back up there. That's a sign that we can still see some storms popping. As long as that temperature creeps back up. Oh, so all my meteorologists, I think it was Paul Delgado and Dennis, were at the Savannah Banana game tonight at Raymond James. 65,000 people there from Savannah Bananas. We went a couple years ago. It's kind of fun, different. I really didn't understand it. I really didn't understand. I didn't even know where. I didn't even know what the. I had no idea. Everybody talked me into going, and I was kind of stubborn about it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't even bother googling. And I was like, what is this? That's like the Globetrotter days baseball. It's pretty cool. Well, I seen the dude with the stilts come out. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. All right, so again, if you're just tuning in, I'm chasing, driving around Florida here, keeping it local for me. We are under a hatched conditions for wind, hail, and tornadoes if we were to get a thunderstorm. We have a tornado watch until 4 a.m. Central. However, things are quiet, and that's a good thing. Not quiet though for everybody else. We had a few rough looking tornadoes tonight north of us. Definitely damages coming in at night. Last night was crazy. There's 100+ tornado warnings last night. Some pretty wild wedge videos with lightning around them that you could screenshot the wedge. And all that wind in Texas on the backside of this low pressure that was blinding and all kinds of chaos out there. Pileups on the interstate. Well, we'll be in Panama here in a little bit. and I'm gonna head west. And I guess the only thing I would be able to capture is be anything coming in off the water. But those shelf waters are cool, you know, and they might be preventing anything from really developing. Usually that's the case. I would have went more north, but the fact that they extended that watch to the coastline, and it's a nice ride home. So I'll be able to go all the back roads home, which I love. Just was in Tallahassee Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, this week, twice Tallahassee in 1 week. 1 week, man. I'll be going up and down US 19 twice in 1 week. Of all the hurricanes now and all the travel in Louisiana, man, US 19 is not my favorite highway. I literally know every turn, every red light, every town. And I'm sure we drive it through it again one day for another storm. I don't know, that 1 hour sleep I just had felt so, it might have even been an hour. It might have been like 30 minutes. But I dreamed. Anytime I dream, it's REM sleep, they call it, rapid eye movement. And I subconsciously know that I'm dreaming. It's the weirdest thing. I'll be laying there and I know I'm awake, I'm conscious, but then I dream and I know I'm dreaming. I know I'm asleep, but I'm awake. And then I'm like dreaming the most craziest dreams. And I wake up and I'm like, well, I feel like $1 million. So my brain thinks I had a good night's sleep. Man, a lot of little cells out here popping, but man, nothing's really showing any sort of organization. Just no spin or anything. You're just tagging along. I ain't seeing nothing. Not where I'm at. It's odd. A little bit. Hey, we've had zero drop frames. That's incredible. I've had one drop frame straight 39 minutes. We just entered Bay County, home of Hurricane Michael. 850 strong, right? Oh, Lynn Haven. All right, so there's your sign. There's your sign. Remember that guy? Jeff Foxworthy, here's your sign. Oh, no, that was Larry the Cable Guy. Who was it? Here's your sign. It was Foxworthy. Well, crazy storm so far. Everybody who said if we get these little isolated cells, are the ones to watch, and I agree. But man, none of them are doing anything other than just riding that jet, not really doing any sort of building yet. Now, I was looking at the future radar for about 3, 4 in the morning. Uh, some of the cells are definitely showing more organization, but these aren't yet. Oh, Pittsburgh's still getting some rain. There's a big line there south of me that might get you. Gonna be up here for the Gulf Coast Jam into May. Oh, and I'm doing a speaking, I think, at Tyndall Air Force Base that week. Excited about that. That'd be kind of neat. I think it's on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I don't know. Thursday, maybe Thursday morning. Or sorry, God, I remember. Yeah, Tyndall Air Force Base. Hmm. All right. Well, might pop back on once we get into a little weather. It's still about 30 minutes away from any actual weather, so I might pull over and do a little reading on X and see what things are doing. But so far, just enjoying the highway by myself. Me, myself, and I got 108 miles for run out of gas. No, no drop for engine. Oh, these little cells are starting to get close to the radar now, so I can get a little better look at them. But they ain't got nothing. They don't have any sort of organization at all. I think it's bump my radar scope went full screen. I don't even know how I did that. I like to do it. Huh. Hell, figured that out. Gonna do it, yeah. All right, well, I'll pop back on here if anything gets exciting. If anybody's awake, I don't even know if anybody's on. I don't think I can. I don't have any idea if anybody's even watching. But right now, you're just looking at a lonely black highway. Barely even seeing anything right now. Amazing how broken up this line is. But yeah, it's just got so much velocity. Nothing's able to really get spinning up. It's just interesting. Now, some of these old cells, once they get on land, have a little more opportunity to get organized. All right, well, I got to turn up here anyway. So, hey, I might pop in here in about 35, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. All right. See you next time.